Do you know how much Netflix had to pay to secure streaming rights for Friends? The answer is $100 million per season, and that's just for 1 year. What's even more shocking is that even if Netflix wrote a blank check, Warner Brothers wouldn't sell. They're building their own streaming platform. And this explains why Netflix shelled out $82 billion to acquire Warner Brothers outright. Welcome back to Business Bites. Today, we're diving into the merger that shook the entire entertainment industry. Let's rewind to 2010. Back then, Warner CEO Jeff Bix dismissed Netflix outright, famously mocking it as the Albanian army trying to conquer the world. Who could have predicted that after enduring the post-pandemic movie slump and multiple failed acquisitions, Warner Brothers would now be drowning in debt, forced to sell itself for survival? Meanwhile, that Albanian army has transformed into the streaming giant, and Warner's savior. Yet, despite Warner's crisis, Netflix is the more desperate party, plagued by deep IP anxiety. Just look at Disney next door. Holding Mickey Mouse, Marvel, and Star Wars, these IPs are like golden geese. Grandpa watches, then grandson watches. Just selling plastic figurines fills their coffers. Compare that to Netflix. While it can produce hits like House of Cards, these feel more like fast-moving consumer goods. Netflix is like a diligent workhorse that must constantly pour money into production. If it stops, viewers will flee. It lacks the confidence that audiences will pay out of sheer nostalgia. But Warner Brothers is a century-old Hollywood institution, its vault brimming with armored treasures. Just look at its top-tier IPs, DC Universe, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Friends, a whole roster of iconic TV series. So, while $82 billion seems like a lot, I don't think it's expensive. Warner Brothers is being sold off, but this merger isn't good news for us viewers. The new company will become the entertainment industry's undisputed leader, surpassing Disney and Netflix. These past 2 years, Netflix has been steadily raising subscription fees. With no competitors left, I predict subscription fees will double. And while price hikes are minor, since they barely affect us domestic viewers, content downgrades are major. Netflix's content logic is algorithm-driven. It operates like a precision machine, meticulously calculating audience pleasure points to mass-produce dopamine-inducing content. Though compelling, this approach lacks artistic value and humanistic depth. That's why Netflix struggles to cultivate enduring IPs. It relies too heavily on formulas, resulting in too few classics. Take House of Cards and why. The first season, both brilliant, but subsequent seasons just recycled formulas, rapidly declining in quality. Warner Brothers and HBO, however, exemplify creator-driven content. Works like Friends, The Blackadder, and Chernobyl. These human-centered works remain timeless, attracting new viewers annually while retaining old fans. HBO's meticulous craftsmanship risks being swept away by Netflix's algorithmic flood. This concern isn't isolated. Just look at this guy's post on X, resonating widely. He says, Warner Brothers produces many of the best films. HBO creates some of the finest TV series, while Netflix churns out the worst movies and the most mediocre shows. This merger will be a disaster for both film and television industries. Secondly, it's a nightmare for workers. For directors, writers, and actors, buyers are dwindling. Before, you could pit Netflix against Amazon to drive up offers. Now they're married. That's why American unions are already calling for antitrust investigations. Finally, stifling market competition. After the acquisition, the entire entertainment market will shift from a competitive landscape to a duopoly. Paramount and Comcast will find themselves cornered, outspent by Amazon and Apple, and outmatched in content by Netflix and Disney. These companies may be forced to merge for survival or risk being marginalized. As for Apple and Amazon, while wealthy, their core businesses remain smartphones and e-commerce and cloud computing. Their streaming ventures are more like side projects. Facing professional powerhouses like Netflix and Warner Brothers, they may need to rethink whether it's worth burning billions annually to lose money. At this point, you might think the outcome is inevitable. Hold on, the biggest wild card here is politics. Paramount, which was eliminated from this acquisition, is backed by the Ellison family, founders of Oracle, who maintain extremely close ties with the Trump administration. After their initial bid failed, they launched a hostile takeover bid worth $108 billion, a staggering $20 billion higher than Netflix's proposal. Netflix, meanwhile, maintains an extraordinary relationship with former Democratic President Barack Obama. Obama and his production company High Ground not only have multiple active deals with Netflix, but his former presidential security advisor, Susan Rice Reese, is a member of Netflix's board of directors. Consequently, this monumental merger could very well become a battleground for the political forces of both major U.S. parties. Ultimately, it remains uncertain who will emerge victorious. What do you think? Will American TV shows and films improve or deteriorate after Warner Brothers is acquired? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. We'll continue our discussion on business from a management and strategic perspective next time.